You have. What a beautiful day. Where do we want this? Good morning, Rattlers. It is a beautiful morning to be alive. Thank you. Oh, I'm sore. Freak, I am sore. Hello, Rattlers. Good morning. Dr. Snake here. I hope everyone is doing amazing on this beautiful Tuesday. Before we get into this, we are actually in the OR, and welcome to the Rattle Clinic. This is a frequency healing clinic. We are in the fifth dimension, meaning we're not in the 3D world where you have judgment, criticism. That is not welcomed here. Unfortunately, I had to create my own frequency field because I was going live, and this wasn't even on YouTube, but I was going live, I don't know, a few months ago on TikTok, and I was talking about my abuse, and someone said, "You deserve that." Now, I don't know what soul believes that a 9-year-old deserves to be beaten, but that was one strike. It's like one strike, you're out. And this is not for entertainment. This is for my healing. And I don't think it's funny when people say just it, like, it, I don't know what's the word I want them to use. Just low vibrational language. And that to me is just no bueno. So this is my frequency force field. It's just like in the medical field where you're in surgery, you're in the OR, and they actually do have medical students that watch the surgeries, but from the other side. And here I am doing open heart surgery. I am opening up my soul and I am releasing my venom. Now, with that being said, when I start going into my download, my open heart surgery, if there's comments that are slithering in, if I don't respond, now you know why. It's not me being rude or disrespectful. It's me protecting my energy. And I believe every creator, every human being should have boundaries because boundaries are so important. It's just like in the 3D world, boundaries can be something simple as putting on your safety belt in the Jeep or the car that you have, because that is a boundary. It's keeping you safe from injury. Let's just say if you don't have your seatbelt on and you get into an accident, God forbid, we don't want you getting thrown out the window, right? So safety belt is the same thing with me. This is my safety belt. It's my protection. Now, there is a time and a place where I will totally open up the channel and have open communication with the Rattlers, but I believe there's a time and a place, and I believe I tried that before, and then you just have people saying weird stuff, and that is not the energy that we want. And if you're vibing with this energy, which is raw, which is healing, slither inside and becoming a rattler. Now, ooh, it is toasty. Ugh. It's too hot to be outside. So we're gonna come inside. And we're gonna chit chat. Let me get my chair. Okay, Rattlers. It's a process trying to get set up, but guess what? In this clinic, perfection is not a thing. We just go with the flow. Bitch. And for some reason, this ring light, there we go. There we go. Whew. Okay. We are in the OR. Again, my name is Dr. Snake. It is 11:11, and this is my open heart surgery in the 5th dimension. Now, basically what that means is we are vibrating at a high vibration. Now, I believe the world that we live in is very 3D. I believe majority of the things that we see are illusions, like the fancy cars, the money, illusion. Now, I think it was a couple of days ago, I was going live actually on YouTube, and I call YouTube my frequency channel because it's all about frequency. It's all about turning the dial, just like when you go into a car, You turn the dial onto the station that you want to vibrate to. Now, I was going deep into my surgery, and then someone was saying, what were they saying? Oh, they were saying, why are you wearing glasses in the concita? And then I have someone just saying gay. And this is why I'm putting up my force field, because I don't have time for it. Gay actually does mean happy, and I am very happy. I'm very happy to be excited, to be, it's beautiful to be alive, to be on this earth. And my sexuality is really no one's business. Again, a boundary. Somehow, somewhere on this social media platform, people just think they are so entitled to know you. No. If you weren't there when I was getting raped, if you weren't there when I was locked in the shed, if you weren't there when my mom got the shit beat out of her, then you don't need to know anything else about my personal business. It's really no one's business. Again, a boundary. That's like me asking you, how much is your paycheck every 2 weeks? Or what's your bra size? Or what's your tax bracket? It's none of my business. Whatever you decide to share on social media, that is your right. But I don't have to share every little detail about my personal being. Very simple. And now we are in OR, meaning I'm not responding to comments. This is my open heart surgery. This is my soul out of my body, and this is me in my operating room. And I believe everyone has an operating room. Oprah, I mean, look at Oprah. I don't know who knows Oprah, but she is a huge guru when it comes to just speaking your truth. I mean, her OR was her talk show, right? And then she invites people on her talk show to talk about their trauma. I don't think anything trauma related is funny. And bots or even human beings, there needs to be a boundary. So I'm in my OR, and just like how Oprah has her OR, you don't see random people going on stage asking idiotic questions, because what would happen? They will get kicked out. Just like if Trump is giving a speech and someone stands up and asks him a random question that's stupid, not even stupid, that doesn't align what he's even talking about, you would probably be escorted out of the building. So there's boundaries everywhere. And I'm making a boundary on my platforms that I'm not here for perfection. I'm not here to please others. I'm not here to give everyone all my details about my personal life. That's not what this is about. This is about me talking about things that I've personally been through, and maybe someone else has been through something very similar or going through what I'm going through, and it's here to help, period. Now, with that being said, I am not answering any more questions. There is a floor that I have created called the communication hiss, and that is where I will be open and talk to the Rattlers. But even then, it still comes with respect. Plain and simple. So, moving on. Rattlers, I am doing open heart surgery today on the medical system. Now, technically, I believe this is for any human being, but I think it really hits home for the Rattlers that are working in the healthcare system, or are thinking about going in the healthcare system, or you're in the healthcare system and you feel stuck, or you're in the healthcare system and you're thinking about leaving. Let me get my drink. And here we believe movement is medicine. Now, in this 3D world that we live in, people are very tied to status. What kind of car you have, what kind of house do you live in, how much money do you make? I mean, it feels like this 3D dimensional world is really based of status. Now, I have been in the healthcare field for 25 years, which is a long time. And I've graduated nursing school. I did the thing, right? And I realized that really I don't think nursing is aligned right now for what I want to do. And it's kind of like this. If you're getting ready to go on a cruise and you're all excited, you're like, yay, I'm getting ready to go on a cruise, yes. And then you get to the boat and then you see all of these holes in the boat, all the holes in the ship, right? And then you're thinking, I don't know if I feel safe. I don't know if I feel safe to get on this boat because there's a lot of holes in this boat. And that's how I look at the healthcare system. There are a lot of holes in the healthcare system. And I don't feel safe. And they teach you in healthcare safety, 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 but yet they don't really give you the tools to be safe in the real world. Now, the NCLEX, boards, nursing school, I believe systems are important, yes. But I also believe when there's an issue with the system, just like if you ever have an issue with your car, what do? You take it to the mechanic, hopefully. And I feel like there's no mechanics looking at the system. So, to give you a little bit more of a background, I've been in healthcare since I was 15. I'm 35. I've seen it all. And just because I didn't take boards yet does not mean that I'm not a healer. Doesn't mean that I'm not a nurse because I don't pass pills. I mean, it's really interesting the dynamics of the healthcare world. So, right now, I have been working on my brand, my business. And outside of my frequency channel, I have just finally, because I believe in this 3D world, we are so used by time, but I believe in the fifth dimension, time is an illusion. Time is not real, right? And when you think about it, who were doctors before medical school was even a thing? I mean, I think about these things. How did people heal themselves before medicine was even a thing? And then I'm like, I question this stuff because when I go to grocery stores, I'm looking down all of these aisles, and the majority of the aisles is nothing but processed crap. Just saying. So, the healthcare field. I'm going in open heart surgery right now. I work for a company that is $1 billion company. $1 billion company. And right now, since I have boards on hold, I don't necessarily like doing CNA work either, because CNA work, for those who do not know, it means certified nursing assistant. Now, I've been doing that since I was 16, and I love it. There was a point in my career where I really did love taking care of people. I really, and I still love taking care of people. But then you start to see the holes in the system. And then you really start to feel, okay, something is just not adding up here. Something is just not right. And the reason why I didn't go to nursing school right after I graduated from my CNA program, because I saw how exhausting and how tiring the nurses looked. And I saw the nurses, I used to work on dementia and Alzheimer's unit, and I saw the nurses go in and out the rooms, pass meds, move, pass meds, move. And if that's the energy that you like, okay, cool, but here's the thing, it's very fast paced. And if you're that type of soul, I love fast paced, but I also know if you go too fast, you can make an error, especially when you're passing meds, or especially when you're in the healthcare system. You want to be very, 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 very careful. So I see the nurses and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want that stress. And I really like doing the hands-on. I love, getting the residents up, brushing their teeth, brushing their hair, picking out their outfit, making sure they look presentable before their family comes, making sure they look presentable for therapy, or more importantly, for themselves. So at the time, I think I got my license in 2010. Healthcare wasn't like it was now. Now you're seeing more and more nurses are dropping out of the field because they see the illusion, they see how fake it is, and it's scary. And I think what boards doesn't really tell you, or nursing school doesn't really tell you, is that your life is on the line. One little fuck up, and then that's your license, that's your career, that's your freedom. There was a nurse that she forgot to check the patient's mouth. And to give you more data, when you pass medications, they teach you to check the patient's mouth to make sure they're not cheeking their meds. Because if it's like an oxy and they're holding their painkillers, that can't be good. So long story short, I believe the patient died. She was holding all of her control meds, and then she says, okay, I have enough. And do you know what happened to that nurse? Jail, lost her license, all because of what, Rattlers? She didn't check the patient's mouth. Isn't that nuts? Someone's saying, shut the screen down. I don't know what that means. You shut your screen down. You don't have to be here. You're here by choice. Again, boundary. If you don't like what you're hearing, if you don't like what you're seeing, very simple, move. Get out of the clinic. This is a frequency clinic. This is where we're going to talk about real stuff. I'm not here. This is not the surgery for you. This is my surgery. This is the stuff that I'm witnessing in my career and my life. I'm not here to get opinions or feedback. I'm not here for that. So you can leave, Rattler. Like, I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but you're telling me to shut the screen down, like as if you have power over my body, which you don't. No one has the right to tell anyone to do anything. I don't want to move it. It's okay. I don't know what it means. Anyways, so this is what we do. We just remove because we don't have time for that. Very simple. That's like someone going into your house saying, you should take that picture down. No. They don't have right, Rattlers. And this is for any human being. I don't know what happened, but for some reason in this 3D world, people think they have the power to tell you what to do. And that's not how it works. That's not humane. I would never go in someone's house. This is my house. This is my space. This is my energy. This is my frequency channel. Everyone has a choice. I don't know if they're robots. I don't know if these are actually humans. I don't know. But that's why you have to put up a force field, because you have snakes that slither in and spit toxic. So no, I'm not shutting anything down. This is my OR. This is my surgery. Moving on. So, and this is why you need to have a boundary, because you get distracted by stupidity. So moving forward, I would not respond to any comments. And this is why I wear the glasses, so it's protection. It's like PPE in the fifth dimensional world. So, Rattlers. If someone said, jump off the bridge, are you going to do it? I hope not. Somehow, some way, people feel like they have power over you, and they don't. You don't owe anyone any explanation. Like I said before and I'll say it again. If you weren't there during my trauma, if you weren't there reaching out a hand, say, here, I'm here to help you, then your feedback, your energy, it just doesn't align where my energy is at. Because I had to fight through that. I had to survive that. I had to heal my own self. No one else did it but my own self. I had to become my own healing doctor to stay alive. So again, if you're going to be rude or disrespectful, slither out. I'm just not going to respond to that stuff anymore. It's a waste of my energy. Now, back to what I was saying with healthcare. It's scary. And I've been, watching these people on TikTok. Oh, I passed boards in 85 questions and I passed it on the first time. And I'm like, great, good luck. Can you pass the system? Can you actually pass the illusions that they're about to feed you? Can you pass the stress, the burnout, and understand that the human body is actually worth billions of dollars and they're paying you $32 an hour? That is a smack in the face. Now, I had an issue about a week ago. I have an Airbnb that I am renting out for some extra cash flow. Now, I'm managing it on my own. Now, if there's anyone that is working multiple jobs, maybe you can relate to this. Adulting is not easy. You have to I feel like we are, as human beings, we are always doing surgery on ourselves. I literally was doing surgery on how should I respond to this patient, how should I respond to this rattler that is slithering in here saying, shut the screen down. I'm mentally doing surgery. Okay, how do I want to respond? What is the medication? What is the antidote that I want to use right now? I'm not a medical doctor. I'm using basic common sense. I'm using my basic knowledge here. My brain, I'm literally doing surgery on my brain right now as we speak. How do I want to respond to this person? Do I want to respond out of anger? Do I want to lead by example? And I chose to lead by example because people are going to slither in your YouTube. People are going to say stuff to you in this 3D world. And it's how are we going to react? Are we going to feed what they want or are we going to rise above it? And I chose to rise above it. More than that, I deleted that person. I removed it because we don't need toxicity. This is a healing clinic. If you want to do negativity, there's plenty of channels that will feed you what you're looking for, but not here. Here, we're healing from that type of stuff. So rattlers, if you're walking down the street or if you're driving and someone flicks you off because you didn't know the light was green, don't react. Be the better person, shut it off, rattle it out, put on some music, and move. Now, I have an Airbnb, like I was saying, and we had an issue. The issue was that there was a double booking. Again, systems. Systems are great, but when there's a hole in the system, you need to look at it so we can patch it up and move on. So basically there was a double booking that happened when I was doing my Airbnb and I thought someone broke in and someone was staying there because it happens. And so obviously I had to take care of that. And unfortunately it happened on the weekend and I work Mondays and Tuesdays. So I reached out to the staffing very appropriately in the right amount of time and said, okay, I need Monday off. I had an emergency. I need to take care of it. Staffing said, okay, great. That's fine. And I said, can I work Thursday? Yes. Great. So basically what I do now until I decide to take boards is I do RNA, which is get the patient's weights for the